Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here today. You know, as a streaming host, I can't escape the political circus. It seems to be never ending. And yes, I've been critical of politicians, including Biden, for what I believe are downright corrupt actions. But let's be honest, talking about the same scandals every day, day in, day out, can get tiresome, even for me. It's like watching the same show every single night. Eventually, you start craving something new. And that's precisely what I want to do. I want to change the flavor of these discussions. I want to dig into something that matters, something important that can make a positive impact on our lives or the world or whatever. So here's the deal. I made a resolution. It's time to become an expert in something meaningful, something that can drive some positive change, something that we can all learn from. And let me tell you, the possibilities are endless. Maybe I'll be an expert in renewable energy or explore how we can transition to a sustainable future, making our planet cleaner and greener. Perhaps I'll dive into mental health and mindfulness, helping us all find balance and peace in this crazy, fast-paced world. But what happens if I find out that the majority of the stories about these topics are not actually backed up by reliable science? Yikes. What the hell am I going to do then? So, here's the best part. I want to take you on a journey with me. Let's explore some important topics. Let's look at some research, because learning doesn't have to be boring. So don't worry, I'm not going to abandon laughing at all this political crap. After all, laughter is essential, and we'll always have to find a way to lighten the mood. There's a whole universe of knowledge out there waiting to be discovered, and it's time to seize the opportunity. So please, send me your suggestions, your passions, your burning questions. Together we can embark on a journey of enlightenment and strive to make a positive impact, not just in these discussions, but in the world. Let's be the change we want to see. Let's inspire others to seek knowledge, create a better future. Who's with me? Let's do this. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. Best damn censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. Oh man, this show needs an enema. So that is obviously from like the original Batman movie, Jack Nicholson, where he said this town needs an enema. I don't know, it kind of struck me as I was trying to get ready for the show today. I got a number of stories to get through today, including an update with Gonzalo Lira. If you've been following that story, I have a little update. But just kind of a number of stories to rattle through. But the idea, yeah, this monologue, kind of lame, right? But the thing is, I don't want to do monologues that I don't care about, you know? And as I was trying to find stories, there was nothing that was really hitting me today. And I was like, I got to do something different. I gotta switch things up. I mean, let's face it, you know, what do I get, a couple dozen views on YouTube for these videos? Apparently I get lots of people watching on BitChute and Rumble, but for the most part, nobody comments over there, so I don't even know if they're real or if you're bots. Do me a favor, if you're on BitChute, if you're on Rumble, leave a comment, do something, let me know that you're not just a bot, because that's my assumption. When I see that I get 500 views but one comment, I don't think that's real, you know. But you know, perhaps it is. Let me know. But I feel like I need to be an expert in something, you know. I guess when I started doing this live show this year, I've always kind of wanted to just be like a generalist, like, you know, let's just look at things in a balanced way and all of that. But I think I can add something if I really become an expert in a particular subject. That can be my thing. and I can rattle off on that particular topic, but I'm not sure what to choose. I tell you where I'm leaning, okay? I'm leaning toward climate change. But the fear that I have is that it may not be presented in the media as it is in science, and that the science around climate change is not as solid as we're led to believe. And the thing is, I don't want to be an expert in something that is going to alienate me more from the world. I don't need that. I need people in my life. So if you got any good ideas on topics that I could become an expert in, please let me know. I'm really trying to decide what I can really get into and how I can add some value to you watching the show. So let me know. I do appreciate your suggestions, and I will consider all of them carefully. But yeah, let's get to the stories of the day, shall we? And the first one, I guess we're just going to hit it real quick, this Devon Archer testimony. Yeah. Biden family drama continues. It's like a never-ending reality show, the real first family of politics. Hunter jet-setting around the world for deals, while Joe plays the concerned dad, always claiming he's not involved. It's a show called Father Knows Nothing. Welcome to the circus, folks, where the clowns wear suits and all humanity pays the price. So, President Biden's former business partner, actually that's President Biden's son's former business partner, Devon Archer, testified before the House Oversight Committee that the president had met with and spoken to Hunter Business's international business associates on several occasions over a decade. Dozens. Hunter Biden sought consulting deals during this time, even while his father was vice president. You know, when his vice president, when Biden said that he never, ever talked to his son about business? Yeah. Well, Archer claimed that President Biden was not involved in his son's business deals, and Hunter tried to create an illusion of providing access to his powerful father when he actually wasn't. Republicans have used his testimony to accuse President Biden of lying about his involvement with his son's business dealings and suggested grounds for impeachment. However, Democrats countered that these interactions between President Biden and Hunter associates were casual and totally unrelated to the business deals. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the latest on that. It really depends on how you look at it, right? On one hand, what we have is when Joe Biden said he never talked to his son about business, that included when his son put him on the phone with his business associates. Joe would just get on there and say, "Hey, how's your golf game? You like playing tennis? Been to Delaware lately?" That was about it. He certainly didn't talk about any business whatsoever. It's just a coincidence that he was having these conversations with all of Hunter's business partners. Yeah, well, that's what we're supposed to believe, and that's what we were told, so that's probably all it is. Yeah. Does anybody buy this? I don't. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some people can do things in broad daylight. Everybody sees it. And still doesn't matter. Still doesn't matter. you would think there would be more Democrats other than RFQ Jr. that would be running against Biden. I mean, he's clearly corrupted. Clearly the most corrupt, in my opinion, president in my lifetime. You would think someone would want to run against him, but no. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, I don't know. I guess we get the government we deserve, right? That's what they say. Anyway, enough about that. I can't do this. I can't talk about Biden all the time. I can't do it. Yesterday, someone asked me about a lab in California. Well, here's what I found out. So did you hear about this unlicensed lab in California? Turns out it was a real Breaking Bad meets Animal House. They had everything from lab mice to thousands of vials of mysterious fluids and even a bunch of hazardous materials. You know, it's bad when even the mice were begging to be euthanized to escape that place. So authorities investigated an unlicensed lab in a warehouse in Reedley, California, finding lab mice, medical waste, and hazardous material. The lab's biological agents were destroyed, including potentially infectious substances like coronavirus and HIV. Yikes! The tenant, Prestige Biotech, was unlicensed in California. So the question is, you know, why can I never get the chirons right? Oh, man. I'll have to find a solution to that. Anyway, is this a secret Chinese Communist Party biolab operating in California? Well, I don't know. It's not evidence that it's actually a CCP secret program in California. That's the claims that some people are making. It's kind of removed from that. Could be. Oh, there we go. Spilled my coffee. Spilled my coffee all over my mouse pad. Anyway, is this a Chinese Communist Party bioweapons lab in California? Maybe. Media's really not doing a big enough or a good enough job reporting on this story for me to actually tell you that that's what it is. And I'm not in California. I can't check for myself. So, kind of fake. Is it fake news? I don't know. Don't know. I will give you an update if I find out more about this, but as of right now, yet to be determined. Yet to be determined. Anyway, here's a silly study that was kind of trending yesterday. So, according to a facial analyst, guess that's a job, we're becoming less attractive with each generation. Who would have thought that eating nothing but garbage processed foods and staring at our phone all day would have a negative effect, right? So as a facial analyst, he claims that humans are becoming less attractive with each generation due to modern diets, sleeping patterns, and orofacial habits. And everybody online has a different opinion about this. Some are suggesting that it's a beauty bias, and that may have changed or contributed to the perception of what is attractive. Now, I don't think that at all. I think that we're probably becoming less attractive naturally, but maybe more attractive because, you know, we got better makeup and we got better plastic surgery than we had in previous generations. So I guess it's all relative. But, you know, when half the country is obese, you know, unless that's your thing, right? I'm not one to shame. If you're a chubby chaser, if you're into fatties, well, it's a good time to be alive because we got a lot of that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let me know your opinion, and in the after show, I will go through all your comments and see if you have an opinion on this. Do you think that we're getting uglier each generation? I'm not sure. But let's go. Let's do a little more controversy. Oh. You say, you know, humorists, they can find humor in almost anything. And there's some things that even leave me scratching my head. Here's the punchline. Trying to write a joke about a stadium full of people singing about genocide. It's almost like a punchline-proof party. I mean, how do you even start with that, right? So here's the story. EFF leader, this is in South Africa, Julius Malema, sang the controversial "Kill the Boer, Kill the Farm" struggle song at a party event. It was a party event at a frickin' stadium. South African billionaire Elon Musk accused the EFF of advocating for the genocide of white people and calling on President Cyril Ramaphosa to speak up. Well, Malema dismissed Musk's remarks as nonsense. He didn't actually say they were nonsense. He used some expletives. In August 2022, the Equality Court in Johannesburg ruled that the song's use and singing did not constitute hate speech or incite violence, protecting it under freedom of speech. So it looks like they got freedom of speech to sing "Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer." So the Boers are the white South Africans. That's freedom of speech. To sing a song about genociding a race in your country. But I guess you have the freedom of speech, right, to say it. Yikes. How would you feel living in South Africa if you were lighter skinned, right? I'd be getting the hell out of there, right? If you have a stadium full of people singing that they want to kill you. Scary, but, you know, they're just saying, hey, it's just a song, man. It's just a song. And you know what? Maybe it is just a song. I want to be open to the possibility that it's just a song, right? I could actually accept that argument that it's just a song. You know, when I was a kid, I would see the Dukes of Hazzard on TV, right? I liked that as a kid. And they would have the General Lee, which was their car, and they had the stars and bars, right? They had to have the Dixie flag on the top of the car. And some people are like, hey, that's a flag of hate. And when I would watch the Dukes of Hazzard, it was like, nah, they just saw it as like a rebel flag, right? Hey, man, it's just a rebel flag. It's not racist or anything like that. There's different points of view on that flag. There really are. I mean, in 2023, we've determined that it's totally racist. But I don't know, right? It just seemed to be like a rebel flag. And maybe them chanting and singing, you know, kill the Boer, kill the farmer. Maybe it's just a struggle song, man. Like, don't make a big deal about it. But here's the point that I want to make. If you got a problem with the Confederate flag, and I do, right? In my opinion, you lost. But whatever, it's okay. But if you got a problem with that flag and you're like, oh, that's a terrible flag, that's terrible, and you're saying that that's terrible, but then a stadium full of people singing about killing a race of people, you don't have a problem with that? I see that as a little hypocritical. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But you know what? Perhaps it's just a song, and perhaps the Southern flag is just a rebel flag, man. It's all just a matter of opinion. I'm open to the idea that it's just a song, but that's a scary friggin' song. You know, that is a scary song. But lastly, we need some good news, and so I have an update on Gonzalo Lira I want to tell you about, and I think it's some good news. So let's get to it. So here we go. This is Gonzalo Lira's Ukraine adventure. Accused of pro-Russian sympathies, detained by Ukrainian intelligence, tortured by fellow inmates. It's like he accidentally auditioned for the world's worst reality show. So here's the update. Chilean-American blogger Gonzalo Lira, detained by Ukrainian intelligence in May over pro-Russian sympathies, reappeared online and recounted distressing experiences of physical assaults and blackmail while awaiting a show trial. Lira claimed to have been tortured by fellow inmates in Ukrainian custody. His imprisonment was allegedly triggered by his social media posts and YouTube videos, including an analysis of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. He was tortured to extort his savings, approximately 100 grand, which included confiscated electronics. Facing a possible 5 to 8 years labor camp sentence, Lira decided to seek asylum in Hungary, fearing extradition by the U.S. He expressed gratitude to the Chilean embassy and criticized the U.S. embassy for offering limited support. Lira's been detained earlier in April 2022 without charges, possibly due to public pressure. So I did see this last night, this morning. Gonzalo Lira, I've talked about him before. He's a blogger over there in Ukraine. He's living in Kharkiv, detained by the SBU, right, the secret police, whatever. And he put up 3 series of YouTube videos and Twitter. He had a Twitter thread late last night about how he rode his motorcycle. He was released, waiting his trial, which is supposed to be later this week, I believe. Later this week or next week. And he decided he was going to go for Hungary. And so he made some videos, I'm assuming near the Hungarian border, just kind of on the, I guess at a rest stop or something. He's on his motorcycle driving to Hungary. So, you know, we'll see if he makes it. We'll see if he gets asylum in Hungary. He feared that it was just a show trial and he would be, he would die in prison. And so he made a run. The State Department was asked about it this morning. They asked, hey, there was an American citizen detained in Ukraine, tortured. Does the State Department have a comment on this? And the State Department said, well, we haven't verified anything, so we're not going to comment. I don't know. If an American citizen was tortured in a Ukrainian prison, maybe we ought to look into that, right? Maybe we ought to look into that. So hopefully our government will have a statement on that later today. I really expect nothing less than that. But to say, well, we haven't looked into it. Anyway, it is good news. I am very happy that it appears that he may escape Ukraine. So I have I've left a link to his YouTube channel in the description. And if you are on Twitter or X, you can find him. He's at Gonzalo Lira 1968 on Twitter. So you can read more about it there. Fascinating. I when you are only hearing one side of a story, right, you don't know what the other side of that story is. So we've only heard his side of the story. And you have to take that into consideration when you're hearing that. There will be a lot of people. It's actually pretty disgusting to see all of the people like wishing his death and things like that online. I think it's really gross to do such a thing. And I think that all people should, not be held without a trial and tortured. I don't know. Call me a hippie, but that's kind of the world I want to live in. Anyway, that's all the news I have for you today. That's all the show I have for you today. Stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments. And I appreciate you more today than you realize. I really hope you know that. And I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing with this show. But I got to figure out something. Let's make it a little more entertaining. Make it a little better. But I just wanted to know, I do really appreciate your feedback. And so if you have ideas or suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Don't just watch the video and go on to the next. Who knows? You could change my life if you give me a suggestion that I follow. Anyway, hope to see you all tomorrow. It is Wednesday. It's a Big Idea Wednesday. I'll pick a psychological topic to talk about and discuss the rest of the news. Until then, peace. All right, thanks for sticking around. Sorry, I grabbed a bite to eat. I usually don't eat until after the show. Couldn't do it today. So sorry about that. Unprofessional. Anyway, what's up, Duggo? Checking in. OXOO. What up? Big Daddy 5150. I'm not a bot. I'm just on YouTube. I get it. And Big Daddy 5150 says, I think climate change is a scam. That's one of the things that I'm worried about. I mean, here's a question though. Let's suppose we could decide, just right now, we could decide if climate change is real or climate change is a scam. For the betterment of the world, wouldn't it be better if climate change was a scam? That meant that it's not actually happening the way they say it is. That would be a good thing. We could all celebrate that. That would be a good thing. Even though, right, essentially you're saying it's a lie, but a lie that something's not real is better than it actually being real. Just something to consider. I'm not saying either way on that. OXOO, what about the topic of central bank digital currencies? I know you've talked about it, although we need alternative money, so it is not controlled. Cryptocurrencies also are often a scam and Ponzi scheme, as most seem to. Well, the thing is, there are like legitimate cryptocurrencies, and then there's what they call shit coins, right? In fact, I could do a story about a shit coin that it was called a rug pull, meaning they hyped the whole thing up, the value goes up, and then all of a sudden, whoever made the coin just pulls everything out, and everyone's left holding the bag with no value. Sam Bankman-Fried may have done a rug pull on a shitcoin this week from his basement on house arrest. So I need to look more into that. But it's tough, you know, like when you choose certain topics like central bank digital currency. Suppose I became a world expert on central bank digital currency. I would be the target of many very powerful people. Not sure I want that, you know. Oh man, so let's check out what's over there on YouTube. Oh, we're all checking in. What's up? I'm with you, Tom. You got to check the comments section because I can't think of anything right now. Okay. What's new with Gonzalo? I saw his 3 videos from yesterday, so happy to find out he's still alive. Haven't heard if he made it across the border. So far, there have been no updates about him making it across the border. I have his Twitter up and his YouTube up. No new news, so we will follow what's happening on that. I think you need to reach out to bigger fish to get some audience. Do some collabs. YouTube doesn't seem to like you. Oh, yeah. Very true. El Enduril. It's a great name. I'm not sure how to say it. Yeah, I do need to reach out to some people. I really need to do that. You know, the thing is, as humans, right, what we get used to doing is we keep doing what we're doing, right? We get used to doing things a certain way, so we just keep doing those things. We all do that, you know. We just get in these habits. And so this year I've just been in the habit of just making the show and posting the show and, you know. But yeah, you got to keep trying new things. Google won't make you an expert. Only boots on the ground does, in my opinion. Says Lucid Moments. Depends on the topic. It depends on the topic. Really does. And frankly, when we look at the quote-unquote expert class out there, often you can kind of debunk some of them with maybe 20 hours of research and reading. So, yeah. Aren't you already an expert in microwaves and physical fitness? Thanks, N-Man. I would say, well, it depends on what an expert is, right? It really depends on what an expert. I would like to think that I would say that I'm an expert in microwaves. However, in my family, I would be ranked 3rd in knowledge of microwave ovens. My parents had a store. They sold lots of microwave ovens in the 80s. And my mom taught microwave cooking, and my dad repaired microwave ovens. So they were real experts. I got a lot through them. But I'm close to being an expert in that. And physical fitness, I do think that I know a lot about physical fitness. The real problem with being a physical fitness influencer, okay, is, unfortunately, and I wish this weren't the case, it really helps if you're super attractive, okay? I think more so than pretty much any other field. You gotta be really good looking. And if you're not, there's just a peak that you're gonna get. That's just the reality of it. Can you do a show about the brutal police tactics? Watch Delete Laws with a Z. Used in stopping citizens. Watch Delete Laws with a Z. You know, it's very interesting in police tactics. I think of all what has happened to me personally from the police has been atrocious. And I've had a couple instances that were really bad. And however, I don't hold the I hold the resentment to the individual officers that did it to me. Okay, I do that. But it still hasn't changed my opinion. I think that police are kind of a necessity in the world that we have today. Now, maybe there's a different society that we could build that didn't have to have police in the same way that we have today. But in the world that I live in Portland, Oregon, we need cops, right? We need cops to deal with it. And so I think I'm a bit more forgiving for their bad actions, even though I've seen their bad actions firsthand on me. I'll give you one example. This is the lightest one. There are other ones that are brutal. But I remember leaving Zozobra, a fiesta in Santa Fe, and there's an area where you're allowed to drink, and then you cross this line and you're not allowed to have alcohol after that point. And I had like a tall boy beer, and I walked past the area, and I had some cops yell at me to throw the beer away. And so I just started chugging it. As I was walking toward the trash, they said, hey, throw it away. So as I was walking toward the trash, I just started chugging the beer. I guess that was a bit of I wasn't being compliant enough. And I had a cop run and tackle me, like football tackle, onto gravel. And he got my arm behind my back. And I was on the ground. And he's like, drop the beer. And I was like, I finished the beer and then dropped the beer. And then he got up and he let me go. Cop did not need to football tackle me for drinking a beer. Like, that's a little bit overboard, right? But, I don't know. I guess I just don't hate the cops as much as a lot of people, because I kind of see them as a horrible necessity. But I will check out that. Thank you for the delete laws with the Z. I will check that out. Yay! Tom finally spilled his coffee during the show. Yeah, I did. How about a show about the border crisis? It's hard for me to talk about the border based on some personal stories. It's a tough one for me to talk about. I want to know more about oral facial habits. I guess that's from a story today. I'm not sure. Let's see, Natasha had a boyfriend who's in South Africa now. Hope he's okay. Yeah, I have some friends in South Africa. Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there. And the thing is, I think a lot of the news I don't even believe. So I'm not even sure where I can go to get some accurate information as to what's really happening there. It's tricky. Okay, well, Lucid Moment says his kids are good looking, so there we go. That debunks everything. N-Man says, my kids are 10 and 5, and they're definitely objectively more attractive than I was at their age. I know my daughter already has boys crushing on her. Well, gotta be careful there, N-Man. Gotta be careful. Natasha says, I wonder if that means people are smiling less and scowling more. Don't know. After my injury to my femoral nerve, I have to use a cane. A cane is woman repellent, says Lucid Moments. Well, rather than a cane, maybe you should get a scepter, right? Because that might be something cool. Or, go old school and go like Lord of the Rings. Some kind of staff. You might get some sci-fi women into that. You can go for like a Gandalf look or something. Let's say, Lucid Mama says, love the Duke boys. Yeah. I'm not sure about the killing of people part. Yeah, I'm not either. Gonzalo said he was about 5 miles from the border. He also said that if we haven't heard from him in 12 hours, expect the worst. It's already been over 12 hours. I know, Natasha, that's what he says, though. And sometimes he's a little dramatic. I mean, like, even in the past, he will say, oh, if you haven't heard from me in a day, and then this thing happened. And sometimes that's not the case. So I'm hoping we hear something from him real soon. But, you know, if you think about it, if you go and you get for asylum or something, they might just take you and put you in a place and you're not able to communicate with anyone. That's also very possible. Other side of the story, it's been already said dozens of times. Ask Ukrainian negotiator Denis Kiriv if he replies from Afterlife, to which he's been sent by SBU for doing a good job. Good points. Good points. Let's see. Police in the U.S. are frightening. I like the police in the Czech Republic. I do not like the justice system, but police mostly deserve respect and support. Oral facial habits came from the story about how people are less attractive nowadays. I may have mispronounced something in that story. I'm not sure that that's what I said. And if I did say that, that's not what I meant. So perhaps you misheard me, or perhaps I misspoke, because that is possible as well. Let me just pull this up real quick. Let's see. I'm not sure. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, O-R-O facial. Orofacial. And I've broken all the rules. I said a word that I don't know what it meant. And so shame on me. Shame on me for that. I said a word that I didn't know. N-Man says, I think learning whether or not climate change hysteria is accurate would be a good thing. Yeah, I kind of feel that way. I see Lucid with his staff. You shall not pass. Lucid, I think you need a cool staff. That's what I think, you know? Cane, I get it, man. Nobody likes a cane, but a staff, you know? That might be something. That might be a new thing. Anyway, thank you for the suggestions so far. I will come back in a day and I will read all of the comments. So if you're watching this video on demand, please leave a comment about what you would like me to learn and talk about. Hit that like button. I appreciate you for doing that. Hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will see you mañana. Peace.